Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining today. My name is Clifford, and I'm a solutions architect at AWS. Today, I wanted to talk to you about how AWS enables you to build, run, and grow your next generation game faster. Hundreds of millions of players worldwide play games built on AWS. That includes games from companies like Sony, EA, Ubisoft, Nintendo, and many more. We have millions of active users, tens of thousands of partners, and teams of solutions architects around the world that can help you build a better player experience. Working with game studios for over 14 years, we've learned that no matter if you're a team of 1 or 1,000, the single most important priority is making a game that players want to play. To help you achieve that, AWS provides a broad portfolio of managed and core cloud services to help you build faster, run smarter, and grow your games by creating fun, innovative player experiences. To build faster, we see two areas that can help achieve this: a modern application and backend architecture, and scalable game production environments. Building your game requires secure and efficient infrastructure. Being able to monitor and continually improve is critical for long-term game success. Fluctuations in demand can also have a huge impact on the infrastructure needs. For example, an in-game event can cause a surge of players to join in. By leveraging the elasticity of the cloud, you can auto-scale your backend infrastructure to meet the demands of the players in real time to maintain player satisfaction. AWS can also help in many aspects of game production. With current demands of remote work, artists and editors can use virtual workstations that are secure, durable, and highly scalable to work on multiple large files. Leveraging services such as AWS Code Pipeline and Code Build, you can build distributed build pipelines, automating the entire process while reducing the security risk of distributed hardware and intellectual property across remote employee environments. And with the new Amazon EC2 Mac instances, you can even build, test, package, and sign your iOS and Mac OS games all in the cloud. I'd like to talk a little bit about a customer that did just that. Quantic Dream, makers of AAA interactive storytelling games, including Indigo Prophecy, Heavy Rain, and Detroit Become Human, took control of remote working using AWS this year. When COVID-19 hit Europe, long-term remote working plans suddenly became the top priority, both for recruitment goals as they expanded into PC as well as PlayStation development, and also for empowering their artists, animators, and developers and designers who are now also working remotely in Paris. It wasn't feasible or practical to distribute the studio's hardware amongst dozens of individual employees' homes. Faced with this dilemma, Quantic Dream consulted with AWS to find a technical solution that would get the entire studio working and collaborating from home as quickly as possible. Their solution was to build their own client and serverless backend using Amazon API Gateway and AWS Lambda, facilitating connections to cloud workstations running on Amazon EC2 instances using nice DCV streaming. The end result is that the majority of Quantic Dream's employees and collaborators are able to work remotely in acceptable to very good conditions. Their CTO said that the results were much better than anyone anticipated. The setup has additionally added a layer of security to their project assets in intellectual property, which was a crucial consideration for Quantic Dream as well. To run smarter, companies need a scalable way to handle game operations and manage their game servers. To run game infrastructure efficiently, operational teams need to be able to continually monitor the backend infrastructure for changes in health and to alert them to potential issues such as backend service interruptions. With Amazon CloudWatch, operational teams can centrally monitor their cloud infrastructure metrics. They can set alarms for notifications and even write scripts to automatically react to these alarms. CloudWatch also has a built-in anomaly detection using statistical and machine learning algorithms, CloudWatch monitors for abnormal behavior and alerts the operational teams when metrics exceed normal patterns. When deploying application changes, version management for APIs help create seamless updates to games, where older games clients can still function normally, while newer clients can leverage new capabilities. With Amazon API Gateway, you can easily create, publish, and maintain different API versions in a single interface. API Gateway supports RESTful APIs and WebSocket APIs. Deploying a set of services in a repeatable manner is also a challenge when you start producing different environments and building across multiple regions. With AWS CloudFormation, you can use infrastructure as code to create immutable infrastructure and even have your entire infrastructure version controlled. With the AWS Global Infrastructure, you can achieve low latency experiences to customers by leveraging services such as AWS Global Accelerator, which enhances your player's online experience by routing player traffic along the private AWS Global Network, reducing in-game latency, jitter, and packet loss. With AWS Shield, our managed distributed denial of service protection service, you can protect your game infrastructure from DDoS attacks. All AWS customers benefit from the automatic protections of AWS Shield Standard at no additional charge. AWS Shield Standard defends against most common, frequently occurring network and transport layer DDoS attacks that target your website or your applications. And finally, with scaling up and down, Amazon GameLift is a dedicated game server hosting solution that deploys, operates, and scales cloud servers for your multiplayer-based games. So how does GameLift work? You start off by creating a fleet of your backend game servers. You can deploy fleets across multiple regions, and then when players join a game, they are then placed into queues through FlexMatch. FlexMatch is a capability of GameLift that allows you to define different rules to match players together. It can be anything from latency, placing players closer together, or even matchmaking, such as finding people with similar skill rankings. When players are placed together, they are placed into a queue, which then routes them to a particular fleet where they can play a session game together and then start the whole process over again. Some of the world's most successful game companies already trust GameLift for their games, including Ubisoft, makers of Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed, Just Dance, and the Tom Clancy series. Many game developers choose to utilize peer-to-peer or P2P networks to support the multiplayer aspects of their game. P2P networking can create low latency experiences if players are located in the same area and have strong connections. However, overall latency for a game with a P2P network is determined by the latency of the host connection. For Honor, Ubisoft's game For Honor launched with a P2P network model. Over time, Ubisoft realized that there were a number of problems manifesting in the player experience that could be attributed to this architectural choice. To remove the need for session migration and NAT requirements, improving matchmaking and the overall stability of the online experience, Ubisoft decided to move the game to a dedicated server model hosted with Amazon GameLift. Dedicated game servers put more control in the hands of game developers. Using the cloud to host dedicated servers allow you to easily manage and place players into game servers that will bring the lowest latency and the most stable experience. Lastly, I would like to highlight growing your games. Today, I'm going to be focusing on play to earn. Play to earn is a model that allows players to earn rewards just by playing the game. With the advent of non-fungible tokens, it is now easier to produce one-of-a-kind collectibles for players to digitally own. While blockchain technologies such as Ethereum is used to prove ownership, you still need a way to securely share the assets to the players. Here's an example architecture on how you can securely share protected assets with the rightful owners. You see here that an NFT owner that rightfully owns the asset can request the media file using their NFTs, using their own private key. They send that message to CloudFront, our CDN. The CDN then passes that message on to Lambda at Edge, which is our serverless compute offering. Lambda at Edge runs closer on the CDN to provide a lower latency experience. Lambda at Edge will then authorize this request by validating the signed message and check the ownership in the Ethereum blockchain with our Amazon managed blockchain service. Once that is validated, Lambda will then give access to the S3 resource, our block storage, our object storage, which contains the protected media assets, and then returns it back to the NFT owner. This is a simple architecture that can easily provide you with secure access to your NFT assets. So you might be asking, this is all great, but where do I start? How do I start? If you're starting from scratch in terms of familiarity with the cloud, I highly recommend you begin with the Getting Started with Game Tech online tutorial. This course is specifically for business decision makers and technical roles who work in game development, and it's all self-paced tutorial. The course provides an overall introduction to AWS Game Tech services. You'll learn which workloads are supported by various AWS services and gain an understanding of the value, such as player retention, increased revenue, etc., that AWS brings to game developers. You'll also be able to describe the workloads supported by AWS Game Tech via managed and unmanaged services and understand how backend services are used. Once you've got your foundational knowledge in check, you can then continue on to the rest of the learning path depending on your role and what skills you want to level up. If you're a game developer, you can take the compute path. If you're a data engineer or an analyst, you might want to go the analytics path. If you're somewhere in between the two, maybe a solutions architect, you might want to take both. So all you have to do is visit this link or scan this QR code to know more. And lastly, I would like to talk to you a little about AWS Activate. We work with accelerators, incubators, seed funds, and other early stage investors to provide support at the earliest stage through the Activate program. If you're a startup that's less than 5 years old, regardless of whether you're funded or unfunded, you can receive up to 5,000 AWS promotional credits to use over 2 years. That's split up into 2 batches. All you need to do is contact this email address or scan this QR code, and then we can get you started. Thank you very much, everybody, for attending this session. Hope you found this fruitful. Thank you.
The Sandbox is a virtual 3D gaming world made by players. In the Sandbox, you can play tons of cool games. Or make your own game using the Sandbox Game Maker. No coding required. You can use the intuitive voxel editor to build game assets, create animated characters, and game elements. As a creator, you have full digital ownership over the content you create. Sell your creations in the Sandbox Marketplace. The Sandbox. Play, create, own.